Welcome to training video for making a 4-string keychain. We're going to start by using your lead string, which is the long string that's going to go on the outer parts of your design. And you're going to take the 3 strings, which I'm going to use 3 different strings to make it easier for you to understand. We're going to cross those over top of the lead string. And use your thumb for placement and to hold. This is the start of a key ring, so everything is neat at the bottom. You flip over your lead strings into 2 hoops. So you have 2 sides that's open. And you start from either side, which other side is open. You take the first string. You go all the way to the end. Take the end, go over, under. Pull it all the way through. And then you go to the opposite side. Take that string all the way through and then go over and under in the slot underneath which the one you just did. And see how that locked down that one and that your both ends of your lead strings. So you continue on to add 2 other strings, which we're going to use the pink. Go over and under. You go to the opposite side and take that string to the end and put it in underneath what you just did, over and under, so it has its own slot as well. Then we're going to go to the blue string and go over and under that. And you're going to take the other one, you're going to go over and under into its last slot, which should complete your pattern. You pull it all the way through, and it should look like this, in which each one has its own line and slot, and you pull the strings tight as you can, and that's how it should look. You will continue on by flipping your lead strings again. And the side that is open, you start again with that side, the first string, which is the first slot. You're going to put it over and under the first line into the next line. And then you go to your next white string on the opposite side, over and under into the slot. And you will continue on to the pink string. Go over and under. Go to your next pink string on the opposite side. Over and under through the hoop into its own slot. And you continue on with your last string. Go over and under. And you take your last string and you should be able to fit it into its individual slot. Pull it all the way through, and it should look like this. You pull the strings tight, and you are beginning to work your project. Now, when you finish your project, in order to end your project, to add your ring, you're going to split your pattern in half, and you should be at least 3. You can do up to 4 extra strings, 4 strings, and a lead string. You put the hoop on one half of the pattern, pull your strings through so you can see it's in between everything. You continue on with your project for 2 times. You're going to do the pink string, in which I have the pink, white, and blue design. And this is one of my cross designs. You continue with the white string, making sure that everything is inside. And it will be able to keep the ring. As you can see, I'm holding it very easily in order to see what I'm doing. Make sure each slot is in its right slot. Go to your blue one. and put it in its individual slot, and that's how you know you did it right. Everything is in its slot. You pull the strings, and already you have the ring entrapped in there. But you don't want to go too many, so you just do one more time to set it inside. It has been done over 2 times, and it just loosens the integrity of the ring at its placement, and it makes it break easier. So 2 is pretty much the maximum that you do this, because you're going to do it one more time to end it. You pull the strings as tight as you can without breaking the strings. And your ring should be inside, no problem. And that's 2 times. You did it to put it in there, and you did it one more time. Pull it off. You do this hoop one more time. The only difference is the way I do it is to give you a little extra string just in case anything happens and somebody can close it up again. You've completed the pattern. And you go back through and you take each end and you make a little hoop. You put it right back into the same pattern. Make little hoops. And this is what I call the ending process to lock everything down. You go to each string, make the little hoop. And I do this because it gives you this extra string. If it happens to come loose, you'll be able to fix it again and keep it longer. Although this keychains last a long time, you want to keep your keychain that you like, your favorite, as long as possible. And this gives you a little extra string if anything happens. It may be a little difficult, but you take your time and make sure it's in the slot, same slot as the string that you're using. And you want to make your hoops loose so you can put your fingers in. Because when you tighten everything up, you want it as tight as possible. It's going to be a little weird. You pull the lead strings to make sure they're tight. And you start from one end, you pull your hoop. So your pattern underneath is nice. And then you pull that tight. And that is locking that down. You go to the other side, do your pink a little bit, just to pull the bottom part. That's why I say leave them loose. And you're going to go to your white string on that side, because you're pulling one side of the lead string to make sure it's really tight. Because you don't want this to come loose. You pull your white. Make sure they're tight. You do your last blue string on this side. Make sure it's really tight. And then pull the string tight. And then you would transfer over to your other lead string. And you will pull that tight. Just make sure everything is tight. You pull your blue string. Make sure that's tight. And then you finish that off. Go to your next one, white. Pull that one till it's done. And you pull your pink one till that is tight. And it should look like this. And that gives you everything is locked down. So when you finish everything, you can clean it off without having worried about it coming loose. And you do one last extra check. This is what I do. The last line leads. I pull those tight and just tie them into a knot. Nothing big. 2 times. 2 ties. Just make sure that they're tight. And then that's it. And it's completed. And you have your ring embedded in your pattern.
Going up too high.
Now, when you clean off your project, I use nail trimmers to cut as close as possible, but not leave a little bit so you can, warm up. You cut all your leaves. Now, children under 12 should not be playing with lighters or anything, so make sure a parent or someone is with you when you do this. You want to light the lighter or get a little fire. And you just want to warm it. So that means you're just going to wave it across. You don't want to burn it. And you use your finger to make it flat. Because it's just plastic. You do not have to burn it or make it a flame come up. You just want to warm up your end pieces. And you don't want to burn the white. So you just make it warm. And put your finger on it to flatten it. And it should flatten out the areas that you warmed up, which is the little bit of string that you left out. As you can see right here where I have cut out the extra string and warmed it gently and put my finger on top of it. Okay? It doesn't require a lot. I must remind you, you don't want it too hot because you will burn yourself. Because you're going to flatten it with your finger. So you will cut the extra strings off. Warm them. Get them nice and warm, not too much. And then put your finger on it to flatten it. You can use other fingers as well if this one gets too warm. And you do it again until you get the desired flat effect. So it won't scrape anything or catch onto anything when people use your keychain. And that is the completion of starting a keychain and completing a keychain. You are welcome to give us a call for questions at 313-530-5215 if you have any questions about this training session or about learning about making anything else. Thank you for your time.